Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I was at Sam's Club today and I picked up two nice pork tenderloins. Pork tenderloin is the tenderest part of the pig. It's delicious. Anyways, I'm going to show you how to cook it two different ways today that you're going to love. So stick around, we're doing it next. All right, let's get started. I got the first pork tenderloin on the cutting board. I'm going to cut the ends off, save those for later. And we're going to cut off all the silver skin and excess fat that we don't want on this pork tenderloin. Just take your time. You don't want to cut in too deep into the meat. Trying to get just the fat and silver skin off. And once we get all of that taken care of, we're going to take out some parchment paper. We'll remove the pork tenderloin and cutting board. Replace with parchment paper. I've got thick cut bacon. So we'll lay down the pork tenderloin and 2 strips of bacon on the outside. And this is going to let us know how wide we need to make our bacon. So now we'll fill in the gaps with the rest of the thick cut bacon. All right, and we'll bring our pork back over, and you want to go about a quarter of the way in, and then use your favorite seasoning. I'm using Killer Hog barbecue rub. I'm going to season that pork and part of the bacon. Then I'm going to get some honey, and I'm going to spread that honey around the bacon and the pork, and that's going to kind of be used as a glue as well as sweeten it up a little bit. There we go. I'll get that honey on there. Now, slowly and carefully, we're going to roll this up. So we're going to take 2 slices of bacon and cover our ends. And now we're going to grab that parchment paper and get nice and tight, and then pull back, almost like you're rolling up a burrito. So you roll, tuck, pull back. And we'll do one more time. We'll roll and pull back, and boom, there you have it. Bacon wrapped pork tenderloin. Put that on a plate for now. I'm gonna get out a baking dish with a rack, and we're going to pop this on there. Now, if you have a convected oven, you're going to go at 3 1/4. If you don't, you're going to go 350. Convecting works a little better with the bacon because it gets that heat underneath. So we'll pop that in the oven. I got my meter in there, and we're looking for 160, 165. We'll pull that out. The meat is done. I like my bacon a little more well done, so I'm going to toss it under the broiler for about 3 to 4 minutes. Just to crisp that bacon up a little more for my liking. Either way is fine. It's totally cooked. We'll let that rest for 5 minutes. Get our knife out, and we'll start to cut this into medallion slices. And I've also got a balsamic vinegar glaze that once we have this all sliced up, we're going to plate. And we're going to pour that balsamic vinegar glaze over the top. And it is delicious. You'll see here in just 1 second. There we go. And make it a little fancy if you can. Serve that to your guests. I think they're at a 5-star restaurant. All right. Well, that's pork tenderloin number 1. Let's move on to pork tenderloin number 2. All right, just like last time, we're going to trim up all that fat and silver skin. And while I'm trimming this up, if I could remind you to please like, share, subscribe, hit that bell to stay up to date on newest recipes. I really appreciate it. So this pork tenderloin is going to be made in a bacon mushroom sauce. Very delicious. Very simple. So we'll get this cleaned up. And I'm going to cut this into medallions as well. And then we're going to get our frying pan out. Medium heat. Hit it with some avocado oil and a little bit of butter. I've got my pork tenderloin in some all-purpose flour. We're going to coat it in the flour and then put it into the frying pan. And what we're doing is trying to get a nice crust on both sides of the pork. We're not cooking it all the way through. We're just getting a nice crust on both sides. And you'll see in a moment here when I flip it over what I'm talking about. And once we have a crust on both sides, what we'll do is pop this into the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes. Just to cook it through. And let's flip this over so you know what I'm talking about as far as a nice crust. There you go. That's what we need. So we'll flip this over. We'll go another 3 or 4 minutes. And then we'll put this on a baking rack or baking sheet. And then pop it into the oven. And then it'll be time to make our delicious sauce, which is awesome. You can use the sauce for pork, chicken, even steak. It's a delicious, basic, brown mushroom sauce. So we'll get these on the rack, pop them in the oven. And what we're going to need for the sauce is a half of white onion chopped up, about a, I don't know, quarter cup of sun-dried tomatoes chopped up, 4 cloves of garlic chopped up, and about 5 or 6 slices of bacon chopped up. And we're adding that right now to our frying pan. The bacon goes in first. And we'll cook that for a few minutes. And then we're going to add our onions. Give those a good mix. We're going to add the garlic. And as always with garlic, as soon as it becomes fragrant, you add your liquid. And for us, that liquid is going to be cooking sherry or white wine, whatever you have. About a quarter cup, maybe a little more. And we'll use that to deglaze the bottom of the pan and get all that delicious flavor into the sauce. There we go, that's looking perfect. Now I've got 1 small package of sliced white button mushrooms. Putting those in. You can use any kind of mushrooms you like. Hit it with some fresh ground pepper and salt. And we'll let that cook for about 5 minutes. Then we're going to add our chopped up sun-dried tomatoes. And lastly, a little heavy cream will bring it all together. I've taken my pork medallions out of the oven, and we're going to put them into this sauce just for about 2 or 3 minutes on each side to get them nice and coated with that flavor. And then it's time to plate and serve, and you have a delicious pork tenderloin in a creamy mushroom bacon sauce that's to die for. Alright, hey, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.